Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome in, Harji here, and today I will be talking about the new MM710 gaming mouse, thanks to Cooler Master who sent this unit over to me so that I can review it for you guys. And this is a new super lightweight gaming mouse that just got released into the market here in 2019, and I have a lot to say about it. So in this video, I'll be going over the specs, the pros and cons, my user experience, as well as another light comparison between this and another lightweight mouse, so you guys have a little bit of extra information. Now, if this is your first time here, then consider subscribing to the channel for more tech videos like this. If you're looking for some awesome accessories for your gaming setup or just decorations around your house, DISPLATE.com has a ton of incredible artwork uploaded by talented artists around the world that get printed into solid metal posters. These DISPLATE posters are very durable since they are made out of metal sheets as opposed to conventional poster paper, and they are super easy to set up with a magnetic adhesive and step-by-step instructions. Additionally, DISPLATE.com is on a mission to building an eco-friendly world because for every poster you buy, they plant 10 trees. If you enjoy my content and want to show your support, please check out my affiliate link in the description below to shop and learn more. The MM710 by Cooler Master is the latest competitive lightweight gaming mouse that was just released into the market this year in 2019. It's got an ambidextrous design that supposedly fits claw, palm, and fingertip grip styles. The body is made of ABS plastic and comes in two colors of black or white with either matte or glossy finish. Cooler Master sent me the black matte version, so that's the one you'll see me review in this video. Alright, now as for the specs, the first thing I want to talk about is the weight. This thing comes in at 53 grams, which is one of the lightest gaming mice in the world right now. I believe the finalmouse Ultralight 2 is advertised at 47 grams. I'll talk more about the weight comparison later in the video. The finalmouse Ultralight 2 is also in a whole different price range as well. Now, speaking of price, the MM710 has an MSRP of $50 at the time of making this video. There are also no RGB lights to this mouse, as Cooler Master did pretty much made it purely for functional and competitive purposes by reducing the weight as much as possible without adding any unnecessary cosmetic hardware. The surface of this mouse is matte black as mentioned earlier, and it's got the ever so trending honeycomb cutouts for weight reduction. On the bottom side you get 3 Teflon feet for smooth gliding. Further down the list of specs, the MM710 is roughly 11.6 centimeters in length of front to back, 6.3 centimeters in width of side to side, and about 3.8 centimeters in height. It has 6 programmable buttons using Cooler Master's Portal software, which I'll get to in a minute, and it has Omron switches rated at 20 million clicks. The sensor is PixArt PMW3389 going up to 16,000 max DPI, and this mouse also has onboard memory for storing different profiles. Mouse tracking speed is at 400 IPS while having liftoff accuracy of about 2 millimeters off the surface. Another feature is the Ultra Weave cables. They are super light and have very little to no resistance when tugging and pulling in those intense gaming sessions compared to the more commonly used rubber cables or basic braided cables. These Ultra Weave cables almost make it feel like a wireless mouse. Almost, but not quite. Other notable features on the MM710 is that the PCB inside is sprayed with dust and water resistant coating, which will help against accidental spills on your desk, dust bunnies getting in and mitigate damage that could potentially get in from your nasty sweaty palms. However, on that note, the Omron switches and encoder are not coded for functionality purposes. It's only the PCB, so just try not to go scuba diving with this mouse. Here's a quick sound test. Gaming is amazing on this mouse, and I think Cooler Master did a really good job in terms of optimizing on performance on a very simple mouse. They didn't try to make it look pretty with RGB lights as I mentioned before, they didn't add any unnecessary hardware, this is just a plug and play and pwn. And I will say that it took me a couple hours to get used to it because I'm so used to a heavier mouse in the range of 85 grams and above. So this is definitely a huge change to my gaming experience in a good way. It's almost like I'm holding nothing in my hand and very stress-free. Alright, so let's jump into the Portal software and see what we can customize for the MM710 mouse. Under the first tab, you have your 6 programmable buttons, so it's super easy, super straightforward. You have your left and right triggers, mouse wheel, you have your DPI toggle, and forwards and backwards button. Now, whenever you click on one of these tabs, there's a drop-down menu, and it'll show you all the different type of options that you have for macroing and programming. So whatever you want, super easy. Moving on to the second tab under performance, you have your mouse sensitivity. It's the first thing you see, and by default it comes with 7 different profiles of sensitivity, and you can also change each of these profiles by dragging the bar down here to whatever you want. Now, the interesting thing is that you can also change the X and Y axis of each profile by unchecking this link right here, and you can drag each of their axes individually on this bar. Now, if you want to drag them together, just recheck that link. And down here you have your polling rate from 125 Hertz up to 1000. You have angle snapping and liftoff distance. Now, liftoff distance, you have 2 options. You have the low and the high, and I don't know what each of these respective numbers are, but I would imagine that the high is 2 millimeters at max off the surface, and that's according to the spec sheet. So that's what I'm going off of. You also have angle tunability and OS sensitivity over here. There's also double clicking speed and button response time. And you can also change and calibrate the surface of your mouse pad by, pretty much dragging and testing out the surface using this option right here. In the third tab, you have your macros. This is where you record and program whatever actions you want to each button. And then for profiles, this is where you have your 5 profiles that are stored onto the onboard memory that comes with the MM710 mouse. So that pretty much is an overview of the Portal software with this particular mouse. Another thing I want to mention is that despite it being an ambidextrous design, it's mainly for right-handed users because the forwards and backwards button is on the left side of the mouse for your right thumb. There's nothing on the other side of the mouse, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so let's talk about the comparison between Cooler Master's MM710 versus finalmouse's ultralight 2. I just want to briefly go over this comparison because I do expect some people to talk about this on like who has the lightest mouse in the world, which one is better. So I just want to give my thoughts on it. Now, the ultralight 2 is advertised lighter at 47 grams, but it also comes in at $120 price point versus Cooler Master's MM710, which is at $50 MSRP. Now, you're paying $70 extra, more than double for a 6-gram weight reduction. If weight is the only thing important to you, then maybe that might be worth it. However, the ultralight 2 is also adjustable in terms of the size and weight using their finalmouse Infinity skins, which is great if that's what you need, but personally I don't really like the cosmetics that it results in, but that's totally up to you to decide. On that note, the MM710 doesn't have those features, so I would say it's the lightest gaming mouse without adjustability in terms of dimensions and overall weight at the time of making this video. Final thoughts on the MM710? Well, here are the pros. 1 is the super lightweight. 2nd is minimal clean aesthetics. 3 is Portal software is really easy to use and navigate. It's like a no-brainer. 4 is that it has slightly spill resistant and dust resistant with its coating in the PCB. And it has the honeycomb cutouts for the ventilation on your palms in case you do have that the habit to sweat. And 5 is the affordability and the cost, only at $50 US, really nice. As for the cons, 1, if you're looking for an RGB mouse, this is not it. 2, and number 3, this is by far the worst. I can't use this mouse as a self-defense weapon. If I were to walk out of a grocery store and I got mugged, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of damage if I want to swing this thing into my attacker's face because it's too damn light. So yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any thoughts on the Cooler Master MM710, please comment down below. And let me know if you would like to pick one of these up and try it out. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching my content, watching my stuff, because your time is very valuable. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace.